sure we get the proper recovery and the proper preparation time. But yeah, so been a good week so far, and looking forward to kind of getting our last little bits in tomorrow before the match at Geodis, which we're excited to play in front of the fans again.
Great, thank you. We'll start with Ben and go ahead and ask two if you have them.
Yeah, BJ, you've talked a few times just about wanting to establish a winning culture in Nashville. I know you're focused on kind of the game-to-game aspect, but just from a bigger picture perspective, how important is it to kind of stack some wins on top of each other, especially at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think the winning is sort of the output of I think everything that we've been putting into it, and it's an important component to get that and to sort of give us that final piece that what we're doing, the daily work that we put in is something that can yield positive results. And so for us, I think we've been really happy with most of the performances. We've been able to learn some things. We've been able to take some positives away, and now to turn those into, I would say, not only into winning performances, but into performances that we're proud of and can continue to build from.
And then I asked last week, I know about Andy, and he ended up playing, but a similar question. Julian played, I think, 65 minutes or so for Huntsville. Is he back in the picture for you guys, and how do you hope to replace a guy like Andy who's been such an important piece?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the international window is going to force us to change the 20-man roster due to the fact of those guys out. So Julian's in consideration for sure. Josh Bauer is somebody else that we've played at right back during the preseason as well. So he's in consideration for that position. And I think as we kind of go through today, the finalizing of today and all the way through tomorrow, we'll be able to make that decisions. But of course, there's going to be changes because we're forced to with playing through the international window.
Go ahead, Bob.
How nice was to see some of those goals go in last week, and what do you got to do to continue that this week?
Yeah, it's I think whenever you play against a team like Philadelphia, you want to make sure that the chances that you get, you capitalize on. The team that the team has been close. I think we've had a lot of chances. We maybe haven't executed as well. But to see that final piece happen is great, and for us, it's just continuing to do exactly what we do, and we have confidence that we'll be able to create goal-scoring chances, and confidence that in the guys that they'll continue to finish on.
Julian?
Expecting to see a very motivated Montreal group that's kind of starting out pretty slow at the gate here.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you see from Montreal is, one, it's a really well-coached team. Especially when you talk with a team that has an identity with the ball. I think Laurent's done a great job, and he's a brave coach that plays young players. And yeah, they have to start the season. I think it's with 7 games on the road due to the construction that they have at their home stadium. So when you're able to go back and look at Montreal, they're going to be motivated. They're also a team that we continue to see have better performances week after week. And obviously, with them getting a point on at DC, it's a team that I think is going to have a lot of confidence. And we know that winning on the road is hard in this league, but when you do it for 7 games in a row, I think it evens itself out. So we expect a really competitive team, and we're preparing for that.
Building off of that, how much is that part of the discussion, their recent struggles? Obviously, you could look at that one of two ways, right? A team lacking confidence going on the road again, or a team that's desperate and hungry, and we know how dangerous that can be in this league. How much is that a part of the conversation leading up to this game within the building? Yeah,
I would say when we do our opponent evaluation and analysis, we don't put a lot of stock into the form of the team. It's more about what are the players available, what are the matchups going to be, and what are they trying to do in the different phases of the game. And we know that it's a team that when they have the ball, there's a very clear structure, there's a very clear identity. And when I say that, there's a lot of variability in what they do. So for us, it's going to be a difficult team to game plan for. And I think a team that's going to provide a lot of challenges to us, especially when they have the ball. And it's a group that we're going to have to be up to the task for, because I think they're growing in confidence, and they do a lot of again, I think just being well coached, they do a lot of unique things that we're going to have to be prepared for.
Obviously, the tie with Laurent and Wilfred Nancy and his time in Columbus. How many similarities do you see in terms of what they try to do on the ball and some of those variables you're talking about?
I mean, I would say the team is still very much in the identity of Laurent. But I think there's certainly, they want to have the ball, they value the ball, they're able to attract the opponent into different areas. They have some real attacking threats that can threaten you behind the back line. So I certainly think there's probably influence, but this is a team that I think has, the head coach's fingerprints all over it. It's not a copy of another team at all.
Well, you've had goal contributions from defenders on all your open play goals so far this year. Just how pleased are you with the way your back four has contributed into the attack, and how big of a focus has that been for your team?
Yeah, we talk a lot here that everyone attacks and everyone defends. And so for us, I think it shows that everybody has a role and a responsibility in all the phases of play. And we'll take goal contributions from anybody that we can get. Conversely, it's the same thing that we ask from our attacking players. A lot of emphasis goes on how much they're scoring goals, but for our attacking players, the same demand is there on and the same emphasis is there when we don't have the ball and how much they have to defend, and I think you see them embodying it. So, for us, as we continue to try and be a complete team that puts in really consistent performances over the years, or over the year, everyone's going to have to attack, everyone's going to have to defend, and I think you're seeing glimpses of that now.
As you're getting healthier in central midfield and Brugman getting more minutes and Eddie and Patrick turning in the performances they have, how has that competition kind of evolved, and what kind of atmosphere is there at training and every day, just as those guys kind of battle for places and maybe you have some difficult decisions to make in midfield? Yeah,
I would say for me, as the guys have gotten back healthy over the last 2 weeks, you've definitely seen the competition inside the group pick up, right? And that's a healthy environment for us. That's what we want. At the same time, we know that it's a long season and everyone's going to get counted on and everyone's going to have their role. So whether they're starting or even the way you see the contributions of the guys that come off the bench right now, and the roles that they're taking on, I think has been really good. And we welcome hard decisions, and we're going to have hard decisions this week, and I hope to have hard decisions each and every week, because that means that we've got a really good, healthy environment that's competitive, and also a group that's, it's not just about the starting 11, it's about the 20 that make the game day roster, and knowing that it's going to take a 20-man effort each game day to get these results. It's a hard league to win in, and for us, we know that it's a group collective effort.
We'll go to the Zoom. We'll start with Jacob and then Valera, and go ahead and ask 2 questions if you guys have them.
Yeah, BJ, something interesting from covering the game on TV on Sunday was I heard that Hani Mukhtar is in the top 10 in MLS or was coming in the game and coming in shots from outside the box, and it seemed like teams are just trying to take him a little bit farther away from goal, out of dangerous areas. How much of that is just teams defending and knowing how dangerous he can be close to goal? And I guess, is that something you would, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think any team's objective is going to try and keep, goal scorers away from the goal. So it's always a challenge, and we always talk about it, Jacob, about trying to create high quality goal scoring chances. We know where goals come from, and for us it's about how we can find players in those opportunities. And as we I think you saw from Sam and Ahmed's goal, like if you can get deep inside the penalty box, good things can happen, and that's what our intent's going to be. But if you're the opponent, you want to do the opposite. You want to try to keep every good player away from it, and that's I would say that's kind of the name of the game, and we're going to continue to try to create good goal scoring chances for all of our players.
Have you seen any instances of just players being able to maybe use maybe gravity from Hani and teams and even Sam? Have you seen maybe instances this year of players being able to take advantage of that?
I mean, I think for us, the more attacking weapons we have as a group, you're not going to be able to key in on one or two guys, and we're getting, like we talked about, we're getting goal contributions from defenders by Dan Lovitz playing balls behind the back line, Walker playing balls into the back line. So as a group that we're not so much focused on who scores the goals. We're focused on creating the best goal scoring chance we have and whoever's in that opportunity, executing it. And I think, that's the next phase of how we can become more consistent, is finishing off those opportunities regardless of who's, the final point of contact to put it in the back of the net.
Go ahead, Blair.
Yeah, BJ, the U.S. Open Cup kicked off this week. Obviously, this is going to be your first time as a head coach taking on the U.S. Open Cup. MLS teams in the past have taken it at various levels of seriousness, I guess. So what is your plan? I know you still have about a month or so before you go there, but in terms of the team and yourself, how are you planning to take on the U.S. Open Cup?
Yeah, I mean, from a big picture standpoint, the U.S. Open Cup for me is one of the great trophies you can win in this country. It's got such history, and I take and Nashville, our team will take tremendous pride in participating in the U.S. Open Cup. We will take it very seriously. One, because that's the respect that the tournament deserves. Two, we are a club that wants to pursue trophies, and there's only so many trophies as a professional soccer player in America that you can win. And anytime there's that on the line, we're going to give it our best shot. And as a coach who's been in this league for a while, I've had I would say the privilege and opportunity to coach in the U.S. Open Cup. And also been there 3 finals and have lost in 3 finals. So there's also, I would say from, any way that we look at it, Valer, from an individual standpoint, a team standpoint, a club standpoint, or also just what it means to the overall soccer ecosystem here in the United States, it's a great opportunity for us, and we look forward to playing in it.
And then just going off of that, other teams within MLS have maybe 2 or more competitions they're playing in, like Leagues Cup and CONCACAF Champions Cup. For you guys, it's just the Open Cup and the league. Is there a worry that there aren't minutes for some guys for you to put out there in terms of healthy guys who just can't get on the pitch because there aren't enough minutes out there?
No, I think the great thing that you see here in this club is that we have true alignment from all 3 properties. So we have the academy, then we have Huntsville, and we obviously have Nashville. So even as you saw, I would say last week, when there might not be 90-minute opportunities for a couple guys, we were able to get Julian Gaines some minutes, Chris Applewhite 90 minutes, Wyatt Meyer 90 minutes. So we feel fortunate that we have a really good second team in Huntsville that's completely aligned with what we're doing. And we also know that as we get later in the season, whether it's through U.S. Open Cup or the schedule congestion that's going to come down the line in May, everyone's going to get the opportunity to earn their position and make a contribution.
Thank you, BJ. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.